Hello guys, welcome to javaisawesome, and in this video we can learn some important point regarding the patterns. And believe me, that is very important also. So let's start now. So in this video we are going to cover the 7, 8 or some 9 patterns. So this pattern is somehow difficult. So many people are not able to find out like how exactly we can do. So I am going to explain you in the depth. So if you understood each and everything, definitely you can crack any patterns programming. So that part is very important. So don't miss it. Let's start now. So for example, if you see here what we have done. So for example, this is our screen, and in this screens we have to print our patterns, and those patterns are very important for you also, to understand. So what we have done, first time first star, next time triple star, next time 5 star, 7 star, 9 star, like that it's going. So what you have to do is, first you have to count how many columns are there. So if you check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, so just assume you have a 9 by 9 one. We can assume like that we have a 9 by 9 one box. Just assume it, we have a 9 by 9 box, and you have to print the star inside this. So in this 9 by 9 star, what we are doing, while iterating a first, how many stars are there? So let me go from the down so that you can understand better way. So first time, how many stars are there? So if you calculate 9 stars, if you go here and if you see 2 space are missing, so this is the 1 space, this is the 1 space. If you count this space including the star, it will become 9. Here how many spaces are missing? 2 space. Here how many spaces are missing? 3 space. Just give the space. How many stars? How many space? 4 space. Both the side 4 space we have missed. What we have to do is, this is the 9 by 9. So what we have to do is, go to your box and count how many space are there. So almostly 4 space, so give the 4. Then how many stars are there? 1. So here you can write a space, a star, a space, both side having a space. Again, how many space? So 3 space. How many star? So 3 star. How many space? 4. Now 3. How many space? So 2 space. How many stars? So now this time the star count is, you can say 5. Yeah, 5. And again 2. What is 1? How many? 7. How many? 0, 9, 0. So this is the space and this is the star. And how many rows are there? Row is nothing but n value. So for example, we have a n equal to 5 here. Correct? Understood? Okay. Now let me show you what we are doing here. We are decrementing the first time we are printing the 4 star, next time 3 star, 2 star, 1 star, 0 star. Just assume, instead of a space, just assume it's a star. So you already know how to print like that star, correct? I have already shown you. First time 5 star, second time 4 star, 2 star, 1 star, like that. In the same way we have to focus here also. So for example, the space we are printing, that is nothing but, that is the space you have to print. So for that you have to use one loop. In the last one is a space, but this space is not required. That does not mean there is no sense to write a code for that to maintain those space only we have to maintain this part, right? this part, and once you write this part for the space, then you have to print the space, and for the space we have to write the logic. Okay, so let me think. Okay, first time what is 4 3 2 1 0, correct? No issue. Okay, so if you are iterating any for loop, for example you have a one for loop, okay, and if you iterate from the maybe the 0 or maybe the 1, it's your choice. Okay, you can select it. So for example you are iterating your loop from I equal to 1, okay, and I less than equal to n or whatever I plus plus, okay, like that you are doing. Inside this you have to write a code for the space, and you have to write the code for a star. So a space and a star. So a space for loop you have to write, a star for loop you have to write, right, for maintain the both, like that. So what we can do is, here if you see, this is the row number 1, this is the row number 2, this is the row number 3, this is the row number 4, this is the row number 5. If you come up to down, right? So this is the row and this is the n value. So what we can do, this is the decrement orders. First time 4 3. So what we can do is, our n equal to 5. So what we can do here, we can write n minus I, n minus I. So if n equal to 5, 5 minus I is 1, right here. So it will become 4. 5 minus I, 2, it will become 3. 5 minus 3, it will become 2. 5 minus 4, it will become 1. 5 minus 5, it will become 0. So we can cover this space with the formula of n minus I. This one also n minus I, but this one is not required. We don't want to write a code for that. But if you see this one, okay, here I have already explained you n minus I. So n is what? 5. 5 minus 1, row number 1. So it will give 4. 5 minus 2, it will give 3. 5 minus 3, it will give 2. 5 minus 4, it will give 1. 5 minus 5, it will give 0. So like that it will increment, and it will print the space. For this one, while printing a space, what we have to do? First time 1, second time 3, third time 5. So we have to associate this n value with our given row. Okay, so what is the row? It will start with the 1, it will go to the 5. So for that we have to think some mathematically formula, like how we can do it. So what we can do is, if our I is start with 1, right? So what we can do, we can write 2 into I. What is I? So I first time is 1, and so 2 1 ja 2, okay. 2 minus 1, it will print 1 star, okay. If I value is 2 minus 1, it will print 3 star. If 2 gune 3 minus 1, then it will print 5 star. 2 multiply 4 minus 1, it will print 7 star. 2 multiply 5 minus 1, it will print 9 star. If you see, this formula only we are using. Okay, so what is the formula? 2 into 1. So we can find the formula is 2 into I. So 2 into I minus 1. This formula we can use for printing the star. Okay, so every times you have to think to associate whatever the numbers of value or columns we have to associate with something to print this pattern, right? Let me go to the code and write, then you can understood in the better way. So what I'm going to do is, here if you see, I'm going to write one method which is public, okay, public statics void main, not main, pattern PATTERN pattern, and I will give the pattern number 7, okay, and I will take one n from that, and this n will print Okay, so what exactly we are going to do is, here we are going to write a loop. So we have a one for loop, okay, which is going to iterate up to n. So I equal to 1. You can take with the 0, but you have to do the minus, you have to do the plus, not minus. Okay, so based on your situations you can take it, it's a very easy. So let's take 1 and I less than equal to n equal to n and I plus plus. So this loop will iterate 5 times. Exactly, we have started with the n and it will go up to n times, and here I am going to give pattern number 7 and I will pass here 5. Correct? No. PATT public static void pattern. Why it's not coming? Pattern number 7 and it will take 5. Let me format it. Okay, so here, right, so if you see our code here, so what we have covered, a space, a star and a space. So this space is not required, so don't think about it, which is having in the last. Okay, only think the space and a star. So we can go to the Eclipse and first we can give the space and then we can write a code for a star. Okay, let's start now, and at the end we can print next line, so it will go to the next line. That's it. Okay, and here what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a code which is for loop. It will print 4 star first time, next time how much, 3 star, 2 star, 1 star, like that it will print over the index. So j equal to 0. So here we can consider int I equal to what? So I already we have taken, so we can take here a space. So s equal to 1 you can take, and here you can write whatever the n you have. Okay, n means what? The number which is 5, n. So n minus I. So if you write here n minus I, what will happen? It will give n minus I is n is what? 5. 5 minus 1, it will give 4. So it will iterate up to 4 times only. So it will print 4 space. Okay, 1 to 4. But make sure you have to give here a space. Okay, equal to, so that it will go up to 4 times. Okay, this is the one things. N minus I. So I is what? First time 1. So n minus I is 4 times. 5 minus 2 is 3 times. 5 minus 3 is 2 times. 5 minus 4 is 1 time. So like that it will give the space, and inside we can just print 1 space. So s out. Okay, and make sure, so many people are getting confused and they have given the ln, so don't give it, remove it. Okay, while printing a star, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a code. Okay, so we can iterate over the array indexes, and this one is nothing but a star. So a space I have already covered, so let me give the j. So j, and what is the condition here, and also make sure j is also start with the 1. Okay, and here we have to write the conditions. How many stars we have to print first time? What is the formula? So this formula is n minus I, and this formula is 2i minus 1. 2i minus 1. So what we can write here? We can write 2 multiply I minus 1. So what will happen? This is the 1, it will start with the 1. Okay, and what is here? 2 minus 1. Okay, and make sure you have to give here equal to. So once you give the equal to, it will become 2 minus 1, which is 2, minus 1 is 1. So it will print 1 times. If you are going to second times, the I value is 2, so it's a 4. 4 minus 1 is 3, so it will print 3 times, 1 to 3 times. and make sure you have to give the stars here. Okay, so you can give here one stars, and then after, if it is printed the space and if it is printed the stars, what we can do, we can go to the next line and again we can go to the next row. So next row means I plus plus, so I will become 2, and after that we can iterate for the 2 and we can print it a space along with stars. Okay, let me go and run this code so that you can see the output. Okay, with the output. So from the main method we have to call this, okay, pattern, and pattern 7 we have to print it 5 here, right? And once you run this code you can see the output, but here the output is next line star. So here I have given the by mistake ln, that is not required here. Only next line we have to give here. This is the next row, next row. Okay, and once you run this you can see 1 star after a space, 3 star after the how many space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space, 3 space, 2 space, 1 space, no space. Correct? So this is the way to you have to think, and you have to build the formula to implement it. So whatever you are able to see, okay, make sure you have to write the code for that. Okay, the same code we can copy and we can run on the online compiler also. So I have already opened here. Okay, this is the problem. A star triangle we can say to this problem is, and the coding ninja is like saying like ninja was a found of pattern for the given integer n, and we want to make the n star triangles. If n equal to 3, we have to print the 3 times, 1 star, 3 star, 5 stars. Okay, like that. And make sure, I think there is no space, so we don't want to give the space also. Okay, let me write the code here and let's see what is the output. Okay, let me shift here, and once I run it, let's see what is the mistakes we have done. If no mistake, it will run correctly, and let me submit it. The same code you can also submit it. Okay, and you can build your good platforms on the coding ninja or lead code, whatever you prefer. You can go and you can write a code on that. Okay, so this is the codes, and I hope you understood. Okay, next go to the second problems, whatever the second problems we have. But before going to the second problems, let me remove all those things. Let me erase it. Oh my god. Right, we have to take the help of our pen. Correct. Now let's take the example of 8, and we can see like what we can do for that. Okay, so if you see this example here, if you see the same thing, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, it's also a 9. So you can just assume, I have already told you, just assume we have a box of 9 by 9, right? And first is a space, a star, and a space. Last one we don't want to calculate it, so ignore it, no issue in that. But here if you see, the first time we have to print 9 star but 0 0 space. In second times we have to print 1 1 space, 2 2 space, 3 3 space, 4 4 space. Correct? So same way we have to increment it here. So 1 and 7, 1 2 5 2 3 3 and 3, and here you have to write 4 4 and here you can write 1. Okay, so this formula we have to find out basically. So how we can find out this formula? Okay, what we can do for that? So what we can do is here, like this is the our pattern. So if you see this pattern and we have a n equal to 5 for example, so if n equal to 5, what will happen here? So if this is the first row, second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row, and this is nothing but I, right? This is nothing but I. So if I equal to 1, right, so we have to print no, nothing. Okay, so if 1 1, no need to print anything. If 2, you have to print 1. If it is 3, you have to print 2. If it is 4, you have to print 4. So what we can do? We can write here I minus 1 simply, right? I minus 1. If it is 2, 2 minus 1, it will print 1. If it is 5, 5 minus 1, it will print 4 star, 4 space. Okay, so this is the formula for the space. We can write simply I minus 1. So your space will cover I minus 1. What about this one? So this one is, you have to think like how we can find the formula for that. So first time 9. Okay, so if it is first time 9 and we have to iterate it, so mathematically if you think 9 7 5 3 1, okay, so whatever we have solved the issue which is previously, in the same opposite you have to do. Okay, so what we can do, if you write anything like whatever the n you have, so n multiply, if you write anything like n multiply with 1, so 5 minus 1, so it will not print 9 times. That is also one issue. So 9 star will not considered. So what we can do, we have to multiply 2n. So what we can do, we can write 2n, okay, minus, so 2n is what, 10, but we want what, 9. So what we can do, we can write here 2i. What is I? What is I? I is right now 1. So 2 into 1 is what, 2. So 10 minus 2, what will happen? It will give 8. So what we can do, we can add 1. So it will give 9. Correct? Let's take some examples. So if you are saying like 2 gune 5 minus 2 gune 1 plus 1. So what will happen? 2, and this one will become 3. So 5, right? So 2 multiply 1, right? So 5 and this one become 10. 10 minus and this will become 3. So it will give the 7. But our requirement is not 7. What we have to do? We have to multiply 2 with I. So what is the I value right now? So I value is right now 1. 1 multiply with the 2, what will happen? It will become 2. Okay, but we are adding one more, right? We are adding one more here. So if you add it and then after you like minimize it, what will happen? 2 minus I, which is 8, and plus 1. Correct? So if you think here, it will become 10 minus 2 plus 1. So it will give 8 and plus 1, it will give 9. This is correct. If second time if you iterate, it will give 10 minus 2 into I, 4 plus 1. So 10 minus 4, what? It will give 10 minus 4, 6, and plus 1, it will give 7. If next 10 minus 4, 3 ja, 2 3 ja 6, 6 plus 1. So what will happen? This one give 4 plus 1, it is 5. So like that also you can cover it. Okay. So this is the formula. It's fine for us, right? If you minimize it and then again you have to add it, then it's fine. No issue in that. We can do with that also. Okay. So that is the one basic formula we have to think. If you want to think some other way, you can think it. No issue in that. Okay, but let me write a code for that so that you can understand better way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize it, but before going to minimize, I will copy it and I will paste it again. Okay, and let me minimize, and I will give the name is 8. Correct. Here also we have to call the 8. Okay, and we are passing the 5 here. Now what will happen? We are starting with I equal to 1, I less than equal to n, and I plus plus. What is the space? So for space we have decided like we have to give I minus 1. So I minus 1. So what will happen? If 1 and less than 0, so it will not print anything. If second times, if it is 2 minus 1, it's 1. So first time it will print 1 space. Okay, so like that it's satisfying. If you go here and if you print it, so here we are saying like 2 multiply I, and before that we have to write 2 multiply n. So 2 multiply n minus 2 multiply I minus 1, but instead of minus we can do plus. Okay, so what will happen? 2 multiply n, what it will give? It will give 2 minus n is 10. 10 minus 2 into 1 is what? 2. So 10 minus 2 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. Right? So like that we can consider it, and we can print the star here, and then next line. Okay. So this is the formula. You have to remember it. No one can like explain you, but make sure you have to think with your minds, and you have to understood like how we have built this formula. Only we have, if you think, then only you can build it. So some little bit mathematical knowledge you have, then that is fine, you can find out it. Okay, if it is not, then maybe you face some problems, and other way also you can write the code, no issue in that. Okay, but that is something way you can write properly. So if you see, we have correctly given the 9 star, 7 star, 5 star, 3 star, 1 star, and that is only our requirement. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this code. Okay, and I'm going to paste in our online coding platforms. Okay, so what we can do here is, let me cut. Okay, so this is the reverse star triangles we have to do. Ninja was very fond of the patterns for the given integers n, want to make a reverse n triangles integer. So if n equal to 3, output is this one. If n equal to something else, you have to print like that. Okay, and what is the condition is like they will pass the n value. We don't want to take care of anything, we have to just write a method inside this logic. So this is the logic inside this we have written for printing a space, right, for printing a star, and then after next line. And we have decided already like this space is not required, which is at the end, so we can ignore it, right? Let's go here and let me run this code. Okay, so I have to shift here and let me run it. So once I run this code, it says successfully run, and we can submit it. Correct? It's submitted successfully. Okay, and let me go and explain you the next problem. What is the next problem is, this is the next problems. Okay, so next problem is nothing but 9 numbers, and 9 numbers, if you see, this is the one part which previously we have done, and this is the right now we have done this part. Okay, so if you combine both the part, our answer is done. Let me show you. Okay, so whatever the patterns we have, like this is the reverse patterns. Okay, so we can write down below, and this is the upper patterns, which is pattern 7. So pattern 8 or pattern 7, we have to combine it. So what we can do, we can write here pattern 7, and we can pass here 5, and if I run it both combinedly, both will give like that patterns. Okay, so our requirement is done here only. So what we have to do here is we have to write the code, but if you see online coding platforms, they have to write at the same time both the code. Okay, so what we can do is we can go to here. Okay, this is the diamond star patterns, and if you see here, okay, correctly, so this is the diamond patterns, and let me go down little bit. Okay, so if you see here, this is the star diamond patterns. Let me cut, it is not required as of now. So Ninja was very founded for the patterns for the given integers and wants to make a n star diamond. So if 3, you have to print 3 times, and reverse also you have to print. So this is something look like a diamond. If it is 4, you have to print 4 times. If it is 5, you have to print 5 times. Okay, so this will give the only 1 times n. So what you have to do is both code you have to copy and paste here. Okay, I will already show you. So this is for the one patterns, and next patterns we can write. Okay, and those also we can copy it. Simply only logic we have to write, nothing else. Okay, and if you write it, it will run. Okay, let me show you. If you see, all the test cases pass and you can submit it easily. Okay, so as of now we have solved the 3 problems. Okay, and all those 3 problems only depends on your logic. Okay, so only things is we have to think. Okay, like what we have to patterns, and how many row, how many columns, how I will start. Okay, and how we can I associate with our given n equal to 5. Those logic we have to think. Okay, once you think the logic, then we have to build how many space, how many space, how many star, each and every line of code you have to write, right? So then only your problem will solve. Okay, thank you so much.